Hello again. Well, I've got the entire painting washed in now, underpainted. But I'll give you an overview at the end of this video. For the time being, we'll just put in a few slats on the fence where it's catching some light. Just using a bit of raw umber. Raw umber and white. That's a combination I might very well use in a few other areas, but I'm using a bit of a worn out brush here, but that's okay. I don't want the only other one that I have is actually in very good shape, and I don't want this to look too nice. I like it to look a little bit a little rough, a little inaccurate. I'm going to allow it to go a little darker towards the bottom. That's okay. That one as well. Actually, I do have a few rogue hairs on here. I suppose I could clip them off with fingernail clippers. I do that sometime. Now, this cabin stands proud of that fence. But the angle of the light, I'll just put a couple of shadowed ones in there, alright? Let's just do that. Okay, can we pretend those are in the shade? Without getting too persnickety as to where exactly that shade line should begin. There's a piece of fence here too. Bit of snow fence. That is well beyond this cabin, so I think I'm going to allow this one to catch light. On both. Right across the whole fence. Looks kind of bright now, but that's just because everything else is dark. Okay, leave that for the moment. I laid in this background with ultramarine blue and alizarin crimson and a bit of white, just indicating a distant sort of treed hillside, or low bank, what have you. I had this quite dark blue before, and that was the wash-in. Now I've gone over it with purple. That was the plan all along, but nonetheless, there it is. Let me just back the camera up a moment here, so that you can get that square on shot again. It's probably a little more helpful to see everything that way. Yeah, I got pretty zealous with my orange up in here. I was using yellow ochre and alizarin crimson and a hint of raw umber. That was still too strong for my wash-in, for my underpainting. So I went with a bit of ultramarine blue and added that in, and a little more alizarin crimson. So I went with sort of a dirty purple and wiped out a lot of it. But I like the idea of a lower sun. I like the idea of the light coming from the left. I like the idea of this vapor that's up in the higher atmosphere catching hints of maybe an early sunset. Just a bit of that orange glow showing behind there. Not much. This isn't a sunset painting. It's a shed painting. But, you know, I thought it might complement the design nicely. Not too sure I want to keep this in just quite the way it is. You know, there might be a few changes done to it. You know, this rock here too. It's, you know, it's pretty much the same width as this front wall of the cabin, and it's placed incorrectly, or it's placed in an area that would bother me. So that's going to change as well. Anyway, I'm just poking away at it a little bit today, and I'll give you another shot once. Let me just zoom in on that fence for a second. Yeah, I'll give you another view of it once we're farther along. See, I liked letting the warp and weft show through on the fence portions. Where are you? There you are. And then, you know, allowing some of those darker, dirty blues to show through. Some strokes on the trees behind. Some strokes have more alizarin crimson. Other strokes have more cobalt blue. And I've just allowed some lines to remain showing. You know, you see the odd stroke of white in there. Just trying to give it some variety. And this body of water, well, it's already iced over. Got a skiff of snow on it. We haven't come to the foreground where the snow is going to be quite a bit brighter. But maybe this is an early snow. Maybe winter's on the way. Maybe winter's on the way out. No, winter's on the way. Because there's still a lot of some type of foliage in the distance. Well, maybe it's just the mauve look of thickly clustered deciduous trunks. That can happen too. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. Talk to you soon.